Thank you, boys. Excited for this matchup to get underway. It is officially prime time now. Anx is doing his whole, oh, I'm so smart at COD. I'm making my predictions. I've got another person with me that's very smart. I want to hear yours. Let's see who is the smarter one. Who wins a series? What's the map count?
Pat's pretty good at this stuff, but I think I have to ride the EG momentum right now. I don't think it's going to be a 3-1. I'll probably say 3-2.
Ooh.
They just smashed FaZe, the #1 team in the group, or so we all thought. If they're able to do this again, if Ant's playing like that, what AR player is going to stop them?
Yeah, it was mentioned, obviously, Nameless tweeted as well that I've switched from the NP4 back over to the K-Bar, feeling much more confident with that pace of the game. We'll see if it pays off here again. Scorch, Hardpoint, they looked electric in this map against FaZe, dominating, especially on that drill Hardpoint. We'll see if it works out again for them here, folks. It is prime time. EG versus Rise Nation. Can Evil Geniuses keep the momentum going, or will Felony's ridiculous play so far today continue into a second series? Off the break, we're watching Felony push towards middle.
Speaking on that as well, Nameless with a K-Bar, above a 1.0 with an NV4, not quite as close at about a 0.7. So keep note of that throughout this series. I think if EG is going to replicate what they did in that last one, though, it's going to be Turbine and Drill once again. That's where they got the largest majority of the time and just contest the sorts on the rest.
Well, let's see how it all plays out for him here. Aqua, the 4-0 start, already working towards that Trinity rocket. There's a couple kills away. He's still dancing around inside the Hardpoint. Rise Nation do have the early lead, and wow. I believe a nade just hit his feet. He basically just died in one bullet. He'll get cleaned on up, and now it's EG. With the early pressure towards this back turbine Hardpoint spawn and TP, they actually get first blooded. Their Felony does wind up getting the kill onto Nameless, and he's going to try to push right on through with the help of his teammates. It's Vicento now there. Rise with some early bodies near this new hill. Yeah,
EG needs to be careful here and not die in the last couple of seconds of this first Hardpoint. Some trades going down back and forth, but this is a huge gunfight there. Aqua's able to win it, so the rotation... Nope, Nagafin.
Wow!
So it really looked like it was going into Rise's favor, but Nagafin goes clutch again. He gets to that powerful box spot we see him in now, but the trade's going back and forth. It's a crazy game so far, Jack.
Yeah, and we always talk about the flechette grenades and how good they are in competitive Call of Duty, but even more as of late, players have swapped over to the cluster. It's so good at just aiming right for a spot behind cover, forces the player to either move or be dropped really one shot or just straight up die to the grenade. Right there's a perfect example. Nagafen gets weakened by it. They easily clean it up with one more bullet. Because of that tool, they wind up breaking this hill, and they're now back in the lead, but it's EG surging right onto Warehouse to see if they can get some of this scrap time.
Yep, a couple of players surging up to see if they can get any of that scrap, but not going to go in their favor. I guess a little bit going to be going back, but a tie game going to be happening over towards Hangar. These gunfights towards the back are huge. Study and Havoc are doing a great job as a duo towards the back. I think they will be getting flanked a little bit soon here from #6 on your mini-map, but overall, some fights, some trading back and forth. Both teams playing this really, really well.
Yep, and that's actually Vicento, who was flanking for those back spawns. These spawns can sometimes be a little bit interesting towards this back area of the map. Even if you kill the guy back rock, if you don't have someone pushing it right away, they can still get one more wave up in that area, but unfortunately for the side of EG, it does look like they've now been forced on out. The play from Vicento does pay off. He's now on a 3 streak and leading his team in the objective. 60-57 currently the score.
Another grenade coming in, catching Fellow just a bit. Some shaky shots, and it gets taken out. The trade's going to be happening, but Aqua is there to save the day for Rise. I think there's one more player that is Studies that snuck behind enemy lines. Going to try and make a play, but Rise should be able to get the rest of this time.
And if Rise Nation, who they were just watching the series that EG had up against FaZe, they should know what worked for EG on this map in game mode. They should know exactly what pressure you want to have near this drill side. Because of certain ways that you can use the cover to your advantage, especially on this drill hardpoint, it went from being the side you want to hold is that deck side to now being you want to be pushing from this rock side. You want to be able to use those kind of boxes for cover, that crates for cover. And that's exactly what Rise Nation have right now. EG, though, trying to claw back into things.
Rise playing a little bit slow, setting up a contesting attempt here. Fellow picks up one, the first blood over. Scarab gets taken out as well. So Rise going to take control of the hill for now. A team kill, a little bit unfortunate for Aqua there. 2 versus 2 situation in the hill. Nameless picks up 2. Some good movement from him. The trades, but Vicento answers right back again. So some high-octane gameplay going on here. It seems like one team has the advantage and one just answers right back.
That's what I love to see, man. So evenly matched off the break of this game. Do want to, again, commend Nameless, the switch and the decision to go over to the K-Bar. He looks so much more comfortable in how he's able to play with his team. He's currently 10-9, but the first team to break that 100-second mark will be Rise Nation. Havoc and Nagafen in your kill feed, doing what they can to at least play for a little bit of the scrap time. But either way, TP, what are some...
Oh, bye.
Like, okay.
Bye, Ant.
What are some of your biggest takeaways from the first rotation? Anything that really stands out to you?
Nothing really. Both teams just playing those back spawns when they need to. I guess EG's doing just a little bit better at getting intro kills when the new hard points pop, like we see it again right there. Getting intro time is quite important, but Rise just seems to be doing a better job of getting in an entire chunk of kill, whether it's 20, 30 seconds, and it's largely due to Aqua and Facento.
Yeah.
It always seems like it's those names popping up in the red, getting those intro kills to answer back when EG starts out strong.
And right there, you see Aqua get 2 more, but then Nagafen with 2 of his own. So evenly matched again are these teams. Only 10 seconds separating them right now. Again, Nagafen just bouncing back and forth behind this cover. He's got help from his teammates now as Rise Nation. They don't really want to push through on this. Maybe get some contests, that's about it. Keep it close, as the focus will go back towards Turbine. And just like that, EG do get 3 dead. 1 player spawns out for Rise Nation, but thankfully Aqua again with another 2 PCs, now 19 and 10.
I think the game changer in this one is if you look at your scoreboard real quick, Stud and Fellow a bit even.
Yeah.
Going back and forth. If one of those players can step it up, I think that will be the difference maker. Rise with initial control seems like a strong setup, and the spawns are pretty close. So expect Rise to take about a 30-40 point lead in this one. EG needs to slow it down and focus on an intro.
Here's an example of slowing it down, waiting for everyone to be in the right position. It's now Scarab time, which can be a great tool to hold this outer catwalk area. It's now Felony, the player you mentioned, who was really struggling, able to get that first 2-piece to slow that push from EG. The lead you mentioned, you expected to go to 30 or 40. Right now, about to pass that 20-second mark. Rise Nation in a great setup to get the rest of this time on the Turbine Hill.
Just a great setup overall. The Scarab was disrupted that push towards that wall run on the right side, and nothing really EG could do. Fellow picked up the first 2, and now we need to focus on these rotations. I think this hangar hard point, this very next one, is going to determine whether this game is going to end very quickly or go to the last seconds. We focus on Facento again. He's going to be that guy on that rotation. He's so darn important, and that's why EG sort of has a lead in this one. He picks up that kill on the Nagafen again. They're working towards the back spawns, and that's why they won the first time.
That's exactly what happened the last time. Great point to bring up. Now we'll see if it works for Rise Nation again. Study, who's in charge of watching that, does get cut down by who? Facento, the man who just knows how to play that back rock area. Facento still staying alive, but finally the trades go in favor of EG. But look at the spawns, TP still close for Rise Nation.
The reason they got that spawn is Facento stayed alive just long enough to give him that influence towards the back. So Rise in a good spot, but look at the scoreboard. EG is racking up all this time. They need to make a move very quickly. Facento might be focusing a bit too much at the back at that time, and maybe should have just flooded the hill, so there's only about 30 seconds left.
Nagafen going big for his team, now 18 and 17. Still both and Study and Felony having really abysmal performances so far. One thing to take note of, we know how confident EG are in their gameplay near drill. Do they use this Trinity Rocket? Do they use the camo as tools to get control of this next hard point?
Expect those streaks to come down probably over towards Turbine, but no, decides to call it now, not wasting any time whatsoever over towards this new hill popping. Will he pick up any, though? He's keeping those players locked in the building, and a couple of kills, 3 down now for EG. Gonna storm up, and 4 dead for them. A brilliant use. I thought he was gonna wait for a little while, but I guess if you're gonna use it, drills, they want to end this game very quickly at drill.
What's also huge is that Nagafen actually protects Havoc while he's in that Trinity Rocket. He was getting tagged up, about to get killed, instead stays alive middle map. Now Nagafen playing from this close observation deck area. Rise Nation, the pinch no longer works. That was Facento again. He's been doing it the whole map. EG are now picking up on it. This is now a 30-second lead for EG and growing.
There's really not much Rise can do now. You can see those spawns just so far away. 22 seconds left in this hard point. Havoc playing this really well, pressuring when he needs to and staying alive when he needs to. The rotation seems to be going in their favor over towards middle once again. And EG, again, we thought FaZe was going to win Scorch the first time around, but EG's answering back again. It's crazy. Yeah, and that's showing right there, the full 60 from EG. How they beat FaZe on this map. They outscored FaZe on that hill at drill, 83-9 right there. 60 seconds, giving them that huge lead they have right now. They're already in middle map again. They've got 3 payloads to work with, all signs pointing towards an EG map 1 victory, unless Rise Nation can make some miraculous plays happen. I kind of feel bad for Facento in this one. He seems to be making a lot of good plays. Trying to answer back over towards middle now. Seems like Rise has a little bit of control, but every single time they get the couple dead.
Wow.
Now Nameless turning up. He's getting loud on the stage. 27 kills again for him here. They only need 15 seconds. It's looking like an EG win very quickly here, Jack.
If Nameless ever says he wants to pull out an NV4 again, I'm slapping him in the face because he has been playing so much better with the K-Bar. It is night and day, and it reflects in the performances from EG. They're just dancing around, staying alive. Nagafen, he's quite confident with his performance so far in this game. EG already near the new hill. They're just 9 seconds away from taking map number 1.
All EG needs to do is focus on this next set of kills. If they're able to get it, they need 9 seconds here on Turbine. Trades go down early. Rise needs to make the play, though. They do get 2 kills. Name is the last one alive, and a clean wipe for Rise. That cannot happen if you're EG. They had the setup. They challenged gunfights. It just shouldn't be happening.
And look at how far they've pushed out these lanes. Looney all the way in middle. You've got Aqua clearing that warehouse. EG are not expecting this at all. Thankfully for EG, Nagafen tries to recover in that middle map area. They're going to go ahead and push towards this outer catwalk side. If you're studying, you do use FTL jump, kills the player behind the cover. Now it's a counter FTL for Rise Nation. Payloads coming into play. The pace of this game picking up right now. Both camos too.
Camo battle.
Oh, no!
Nagafen stops shooting at Vicento. He gets the beat down, looking for the second. Looney has his help as well. One player on EG trying to contest as long as he can, but there's not enough time.
They've got to rotate.
They have to rotate. There's not much time left. EG only needs 7 seconds. And they might get it here, but Aqua's winning the race.
Oh, Aqua is winning the race. He's going to go down low. Are EG ready for this? They've got 2 players inside. He hasn't been spotted as of yet. Loses the 1v1 versus Nameless, but he bought enough time for his teammates to get in position. Rise Nation not out of this yet. The reactive armor does nothing. We have ourselves a game. Rise Nation going for the comeback.
Oh, a crazy rotation. Rise able to win it. And I thought Nameless was going to be able to break it, but Trades going back. Rise doing such a better job.
Centurion.
Back. Centurion's down. Not much payload abilities left. None whatsoever. Fellows, I guess, is the closest with reactive. They could do this here.
Scarab will be the first push for EG. They've now got to go. Only 15 seconds left for Rise Nation needed to win this game. The entry kill from Nameless. Vicento's got help. Nagafen charges on in. EG have done it. They've gotten the break, and they will win map number 1, 250 to 237.
What a map number 1 there, Jack. This is prime time.
And TP, you've got to love the patience from EG. They knew how much time they had to go for, confident in their abilities to go for the break. You saw Vicento, they were coming in from every angle. He didn't even know where to look.
It was good timing. EG took their time. All they needed was that first fight, and then you flood all 3 entrance points. It was beautiful. I thought Rise was going to be able to make that comeback. That turbine hold from them at the very end was very, very impressive.
Oh, yeah.
But they got they got those backside spawns. It just wasn't enough for them. EG clutches up again.
We've got ourselves a series, and the storylines are getting better and better. I was watching the last series with EG and FaZe. They keep mentioning it up in the Pro Player Lounge, you know, hearing from Fnatic, hearing from the boys of Rise on what their thoughts are. Think of what this means now. If we wind up seeing EG go 6-0 in map count today, they're now sitting at 2-2. That would drop Rise Nation down to 2-2. You would have Fnatic, if they're able to beat FaZe tonight, we could have 4 teams sitting at 2-2 going into day 3. That would be the absolute perfect scenario.
That's the dream right there.
Oh, yeah.
Going into a Sunday, everything on the line. But, man, you can't ask for anything better than that game 1, really going down to the wire. Somehow, EG starting off slow in a lot of these hard points, but they answer back. All it takes was 1 hill, that full hold of 60 seconds. They're able to do it multiple times, and they're right back in it. And they just clutch up at the end again.
What's crazy to think, some of the individual plays from Vicento, if he doesn't make those,
yeah,
that is not a close game at all. That is like a 250 to 150 type game. Instead, Vicento was doing what he could, but EG with some clutch 2 pieces, Nagafen getting heavily involved, and realistically, just having 1 solid push wins them that game overall. In their 2 Scorch hardpoints they've played today at Drill, they've outscored their opponents something like 150 to 25.
Wild. Absolutely wild. Turbine. Rise gets 117 seconds, which is insane, but it goes back to Drill. EG definitely seems like the best Drill Hill holding team in this group so far, but Bridge as well. They did such a good job of getting on both sides of it, pushing out when they needed to. And you know, when you focus so much on the first hard point, it's going to hurt you for second, so maybe that's why the score leaned a certain way in that regard. But Drill, man, it's important for him.
I love it. Look at how similar the stats are there between former teammates Nagafen and Aqua, both putting up 30+ kills. Solid KDs there, but in the end, it is Nagafen and crew narrowing out that team on your screen. Rise Nation, and now if you're Rise, the big stat, and I saw some people saying, you know, are the casters always just going to talk about Dallas? Well, guess what? It was the most recent major LAN event, but a thing to mention is the difference in S&D for EG at Dallas and Rise Nation. Rise, who you think should be a strong S&D team at times, they fell completely flat in the game mode. I think it was something like 15% of S&Ds they won there. EG, on the other hand, won 85% of theirs. You think now, is this a must-win map from seeing what happened the last time Rise and EG played in Uplink earlier this weekend?
I think it kind of has to be,
right?
To be quite honest. The way EG's looking, though, and the way they play Search and Destroy so consistently, I think you have to give them the initial edge on this one, especially with the way Nameless has been playing. It just seems like in those 1v1s, those 50-50 gunfights, you always see Nameless coming out on top, whereas yesterday, just not really the same at all. So such a big difference maker and a huge playmaker today. The two players I want to focus on this Search and Destroy, though, is the two players that had that first rough hard point. Fellow, not great. Nope. Study as well. So I think one of those two players needs to change up their own momentum here on Crusher.
We are ready now for map number 2, Crusher Search and Destroy. EG and Rise Nation going at it. If you're wondering what's still to come today on the broadcast, don't go anywhere. We still have FaZe Clan versus Fnatic to come. Will FaZe bounce back after getting swept 3-0 by EG, or can Fnatic put up a great fight and potentially end day 2 sitting at that 2-2 scoreline? We're ready to get into it now. We're watching Felony off the break. You mentioned, how does he bounce back after that rough map 1 performance?
Going to be interested to see how aggressive both these teams play this Crusher. See a lot of teams just do that normal sort of B plant strategy, but it doesn't seem like we're going to see that this time from Rise. Not wasting any time getting over toward this left side of the map, and it looks like they're pushing through, actually.
Well, okay, they're just going to try to see what they can do to flip the map at Vicento. That right there just gave his team all the information they could ever need. Seeing 2 players charging through, they know that this is a full man play from the side of EG. And
this is beautiful from Bryce right here. He found all 4 players. They know they're trying to pull off a flank, and he just gets to the weirdest corner on the map, something he knows they're not going to check, and now things are falling in their favor. Now a 4 versus 2 situation. Fellow picks up the 3rd. Nameless now stuck in the 1v4.
And they've all won their 1v1 gunfights. Nameless by himself. Rise Nation, the shot calls. We saw it last series.
Beautiful. I love that, Jack.
They look very well composed on this map, and I'll be completely honest with you, team. I've seen 2 people go to that back crate area. One is Vicento there. The other one was Fastball, and it's 1v1 versus Carver.
Oh, yeah. You're completely right.
This time it works out a little bit better for Vicento and crew as they take that first round, and you've got to love the shot call. There's no hesitation from Rise on this map.
Vicento's making game-changing plays.
Yeah.
And that's something I love to see. In my Telestrator segment earlier, I talked about gaining information. Vicento does that, stays alive, picks up the first kill in the back, basically opens the map for his team.
Now, Havoc does love to push towards middle. Nice grenade by Looney to at least clean up the one-shot player. Rise Nation, they know how much Nagafet likes to snipe because 3 of them used to team with him. So do they spot that coming out as a strategy in this series? And look, okay, I thought he was off the map for a second. I had stress right there from my own flashbacks, but there he does stay on for a moment. And even for Vicento to get that kill and get out, it's little things like that.
Very important stuff. Nagafen challenging with a pistol that high up on a wall run, however. Not the best of plays you can make. He may need to switch it up with how fast Rise is playing in some of these early rounds.
We'll see if he does that moving forward. For now, though, his teammate Nameless still alive for a potential 1v3. He has been spotted. Now 1 shot as well. Things should be ending for him here. White suit unless they all body stack for a quarter of a second. I was like, oh my God, this could happen. But instead, it is Rise Nation up 2-0.
Bit scary there for just a second. Vicento getting those intro kills once again, playing with so much confidence. And this is a new Vicento we've seen in Infinite Warfare. He was the Vegas MVP for a reason.
Yep.
And he's been playing damn good this year. I've gave him a lot of flack personally this last year in Black Ops 3, but he's impressed me a lot. It feels like he's learned a lot as a leader for this team.
Oh, for sure. And he's very comfortable on the squad. Rise Nation, they all just had Chick-fil-A prior to this series, so I thought that was going to help them, but apparently so far they are down 1-0. So it's Felony, still middle map. He's going to have to back on down as he has been tagged up by the opposing team's ND4.
Rise seems like they leave that player sort of in their spawn to gain information as possible. A double flank looks like it's coming in soon. Some timing in the favor of Fellow in this one. See how this round progresses here in just a second.
Yeah, he should be cleaned up. First blood to EG. Potential first round victory on the horizon for the squad. Aqua just waiting, currently 3-0. He's gonna have to back away, and they're both hitting the wall run. They just both run into players on either side. Now it's Looney by himself. A nice retake of the B site by EG.
A bit unfortunate for those players on the wall run. One guy hops on it as one guy's dipping out, so the player at the alleyway just picks up a free kill. A nice round to bounce back for EG here, and that's one of the dangers of leaving one of your players so far away and Fellow that we just saw right there. you know, there's so many flanking spots on Crusher that you can't always check. Fellow checks middle, he checks the left door A, but he can't possibly see the underground. So, unfortunate series of events for Fellow.
It's a lot to watch. It's a lot of ground to cover.
Right, so I feel like if you're leaving that player, he needs to be closer to your team.
Yep, and you mentioned the awkward timings. He had the right idea, right? As they take the B site, time for me to fall back, play our closer trade area, and now just watch that one lane that they can push from. Unfortunately, though, the players from EG were already storming on through. Now it's up to Evil Geniuses to convert around on offense. We're watching Looney here, who is inside warehouse across from his team. Rise should have all the info they need, though. That, hey, guys, watch out for this B play. EG looking to plant the objective.
Little bit of slow play going down. The contesting from the alleyway, though. The trades go down early. Looney has that E-Rad, which should have the advantage there, but now 2 versus 2. Everything's pretty much going on fire right now. Stud left in the 1 versus 2, picks up the first, and now the 1v1. Can he get it, though? No, he lands the beatdown, but not the first bullet.
Yep.
That was so close.
He tried to go for the hip fire, 1 bullet beatdown. It is really the fastest way you can kill somebody right there. TP, I'll be honest, I think Nagafen lose that round for EG. Still has the sniper. Whiffs an easy kill. Because of that, Rise Nation clear out that lane. They push it, and there Looney clutches it up.
It gets to the point where, yes, Nagafen has had good search and destroys, but I'm the type of guy where...
0-3.
Yeah, it's not happening. Right? He's had past tense, right? He needs to put it away.
Yeah, and now Nameless getting first blooded. Again, this Rise Nation team that only lost by 13 seconds in map 1, looking much more composed now in search and destroy. Nagafen and crew is pressuring towards middle map. Rise are, look at how slow they're playing this. They're all in middle, and Nagafen is not ready for that at all. He's been spotted 1 versus 4. If I'm him, I'm trying to find a way to jump off this map.
Yeah, don't give him any more points if possible. Catches one player, Fellow at the middle of the map there, but Rise just doesn't even need to deal with him at that point. Is he going to stay on his streak or try and get off the map? He might try and clutch here.
Yeah, especially with the bomb still not being planted. Looney does have that payload now ready. Nagafen slowly making his way over, and he will actually get the drop on one player here. Should have the last guy's down on sight, but whiffs a couple bullets. Maybe if he kills him slightly quicker, he has a chance, but in the end, Rise Nation now up 3 rounds.
Yeah, it's a tough shot there. He changed his momentum completely when he jumps to the other wall.
Yep.
And that extra couple of bullets it took was really the difference maker. But Rise is just really picking them apart early in these rounds. Rise is doing such a good job of pushing an area together as a team. If they don't find anything, cool. They rotate back and try and gain more information somewhere else. A lot of teams, in my opinion, need to replicate what Rise is doing on every search and destroy map.
They were just waiting for someone to come sprinting on through. Nagafen now with the sniper, though, does at least get a kill on the board for him. Spots a second player, gets a call out about someone in you. Felony again, continually getting these first bloods for Rise Nation, but unfortunately does fall to the hands of Study, and now it will be a change in pace from EG as they rotate this bomb.
Looks like it's going to be a tough retake situation, but they know what's going on very quickly here. The trade's going to be going in. Nameless picks up the first. Bryce now has a chance, but is taken out very quickly. A nice shot from Nagafen, so we're giving him a little bit of crap for keeping the sniper out, but he hits a nice shot into A. And it was smart to get out. You got the pick, you got what you needed. Just go to the other bomb site and make use of your advantage. A great round from them.
Absolutely. That's what you love to see from Evil Geniuses. No matter what happens really in the series, they look much better than they did yesterday. That's more than safe to say, as it is Looney with camo, still a Scarab in his back pocket. Does he use it this round to really kind of put them on game point, in this search and destroy?
It's not a bad idea, in my opinion. Nameless spotting out all these players.
You gotta get away.
Needs to be careful, but he has helped very quickly. A good rotation in from EG. Looks like that would be probably the perfect time to pop the camo. Yep, gonna pop it over towards...
Oh! No! There's the thermal sniper from Nagafen. Hits an incredible shot. And now, what looked like an easy first blood for Looney, it all falls apart. EG.
Wow.
Trust in Nagafen, and there's the little smirk. Nagafen, show some emotions for once.
Doesn't look excited at all, but an absolutely huge turn of events here. The camo burned. It's like, oh, this is a great play. Looney's going to pick up a kill. Wham!
Oh, you already know.
Gone.
We're getting roasted. I hate when the casters tell Nagafen to put away the sniper.
Yeah.
He was 0-3, then gets a first blood, now snipes the camo. I'm sorry if he makes me look like an idiot. It happens a lot.
Don't say that about yourself, Jack.
Thank you. That's why
You're
I like
good
you
at
a lot,
this.
Tyler. But look, you know who else is good at things? It's Nagafen with the sniper. He went from 0-3 to now 6-4. EG, we're down by 3 rounds, now just 1. And we're gonna have a very quick round right here. It's about to be a 44 gunfight battle. Looney with first blood. Steady there for the trade. Vicento still pre-firing towards this outer bridge. He's got to fall back because he's weak. Thankfully for EG, Nameless decides to shoulder peek on out. Why is Nameless peeking there? He's one bullet. Just hide.
I don't understand that. You know they're pushing up on you. They're just sliding pretty much crazily into the alley. No reason those two should have fought right there. Just buy time.
Oof. So what was a monstrous snipe from Nagafen in the previous round is just a botched push from EG as they get overrun, and now it's Rise Nation on the verge of making this series 1-1. And now this is what I love. They change things up. I wouldn't be surprised. Yes, FTL jump right away, catch the timing. Beautiful play from Aqua. No hesitation. Rise Nation have control of A.
I love that a lot. He saw that player turn the corner. Havoc not expecting that, obviously. Gets there just a little bit early, but a team kill going in. Nagafen picks up one with a nade.
What happened was the grenade goes in, blows up the Scarab on the teammate who's trying to get that objective down. And now, EG basically get a free retake. They're like, thanks, Looney, for calling in that Scarab, buddy.
Oh, man, some self-sabotage there. A good grenade from Nagafen nonetheless. Still has that FTL to work with. Nameless getting close to payload as well. Looks like a rotation, though. Vicento just on a mission to gain whatever information he can. And a little bit of a separate round from Rise in this one.
So with EG knowing where this objective is down, do you agree with them stacking this site? How should they play this?
Yeah, I think you just stay together, especially if you know that the
bomb
is there. Did he spot that player? I don't think he did. No. A bit unfortunate for Fellow there. But Vicento now making the play. Has the Centurion, if he can, get to this bomb, but not much time to work with in the 1v2.
And he's one kill off the Scarab or the plant. He already has that payload, so EG basically should know at this point, yeah, there's no way he can rotate. Vicento just waiting things out. Here comes the pressure. Nice job by Nagafen using that wall run. 5-4. EG not going down without a fight.
It's a good play. Good play. Just group up. Use the time to your advantage. You know where the bomb was.
Yep.
Check it every couple of seconds and you're good to go. But, man, just imagine if Fellow was able to spot that player under him. I don't know if his just peripherals wasn't working too well there. Just a bit unfortunate. If he picks up that, I think they get the bomb and they could probably get out of there.
So what, we have a FTL jump used, Scarab used for nothing for Rise Nation. Now, though, this is where things can swing for EG. They've got camo ready to go. Nameless should spot him, and he's going to go for it right away. He gets jammered, though, as he's trying to push it up. And Rise Nation, they've read this like a book. They run away. Yes, they get control of the site, but camo does nothing for EG.
Man, pops that just a little bit early in that one. You're not sure if you're going to be able to get in a gunfight.
Exactly. Is that bait from Rise? Right? I mean, they know.
I don't know if they knew that, though.
That is true. All right, sorry. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit. I'm just excited. Rise now going for the retake. Kills being traded on out. Rise Nation do have the number advantage now. Nameless can't get killed here. Vicento finds it. And now it's up to Study in the 1 versus 3. He's got a player just in front of him. I don't think he's going to be able to get out with his life. No way. Rise Nation will take that map by a final score line of 6-4.
Whew. EG.
I love it.
Showing some heart in that one. It just really comes back to that one round. The botched push is what we called it. They had momentum. They had a huge round to clutch to bring it back just a little bit closer, and then they just let Rise get to that 5th round, and eventually they're going to get it.
You think if Nameless doesn't peek when he's one shot, he kind of stays alive. Study can just watch that middle lane. There's no reason to care about the guy from Crates as long as he's kind of shoulder peek it, keep an eye on it. You at least know, hey, we're not having to worry about the pinch as of yet, but this is what I like to see. We've got ourselves a series. It's now tied up 1-1, but remember, folks, the last time Rise Nation and EG battled in Uplink, Rise beat them 20-0 on Throwback. That was how the weekend started. Here, I expect things to be just a little bit different.
You think so, Jack?
Yeah, I do.
It's a good prediction.
Either way, 20-0, one of the most one-sided games I've really seen in competitive Call of Duty. Nameless with the K-Bar does look great in the respawns for the side of EG. Rise Nation, you now have yourselves tied back up. I don't really know if they're going to change anything going into Uplink, but either way, though, do not go anywhere. Prime time is back after this quick break.
How do crazy people get through a forest?
I don't know.
They take a psychopath.
Okay. What's large, gray, and doesn't matter?
I don't know.
An irrelevant.
That was not funny. What did the duck say to the bartender?
The dog?
The duck.
The duck?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Put it on my bill.
All right, that was a clever one. All right.
What do you call a sidekick midget who has escaped from prison?
Kinda, wow. That one's like really out there. I don't know.
A small, medium, at large.
Oh, at large. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How do you feel when there's no coffee?
Dead. No.
Depresso. Dead.
It is your G Fuel key player matchup between EG and Rise Nation. Study for Evil Geniuses so far has had a quieter weekend. You can see coming into this series, his respawn KD has been lackluster, but that was really for all players on EG. On the side of Rise Nation, though, Felony has been electric in Hardpoint, and has matched those performances in Uplink. Fully expect Rise Nation to have an advantage going into this next Uplink after they beat EG 20-0 in the game mode yesterday. This has been your G Fuel key player matchup. 1-1 is the map count between Evil Geniuses and Rise Nation here in the blue group of the CWL Global Pro League presented by PlayStation 4. I'm joined by TP at the caster stage. TP, for you so far, what have you seen from EG that's much better today compared to what we saw from them yesterday?
Just overall presence on the map, the confidence seems to be there somehow that they just weren't having yesterday.
Yeah.
I think that largely, like, we can all talk about all day about how much better Nameless is playing, but it's really all of them. They're grouping up together. A lot of those search and destroy rounds, it just seems like they have more confidence in each other today for whatever reason. They probably went back and watched some of those games and just realized the sort of bonehead mistakes they were making. So a completely different looking team today. They're looking quite strong in this even series.
Well, it's what you want to see. We want these storylines to be close. There is still potential for all 4 teams to be 2-2 going into our 3rd day of matches. Obviously, that is mainly due in part to FaZe losing 3-0 to EG earlier. Still to come on primetime, as I mentioned, it will be FaZe versus Fnatic, but for now, we've got to crown ourselves a winner of this series. We will see a Game 4, so we will see another Hardpoint, but who will take the 2-1 advantage after Uplink on Frost? I'm still siding with Rise Nation.
Yeah, I think you have to agree. I think when it comes to these ERAD situations, Rise has more of those players that are going to be more comfortable in those close quarter situations. I think this is the map that, I know we focused on the key player matchup on Study. He definitely needs to perform better, but I think it's Study and Havoc.
Okay.
Everyone's talking up Havoc, especially their team in general, about this event this weekend. And I feel like Havoc needs to just have a killer map if they're going to go up 2-1.
Yeah, they were really gassing him up, like saying how he might be the best player in the venue. We'll see if that can keep going here. I mean, hey, he's done well, but you gotta end day 2 at 2-2, and they have an opportunity here right now. Their destiny is in their hands. Some great storylines, obviously, with Nagafen being former teammates with 3 of the members of Rise Nation. Let's see how it all plays out. It's getting chilly here on Frost. It will be Uplink. Off the break, we are watching Havoc, the man you said who needs to go big this game for EG.
Looks like he's going to be starting off with a K-bar. I'm not sure if I actually agree with that. Usually we see a sort of 3 ERAD apiece, but maybe they have their own sort of thing in mind. Initial battle is going to be happening over towards this mid-map. Havoc doesn't see anything yet, but looks like 2 players from Rise going over towards the left.
Yeah, this is the breakdown from Rise. They focus a little bit more towards Cliff. Only 1 player inside ship, and when you have 3 members lose their one-on-one gunfights, that could spell disaster off the break. Thankfully, because of the influence towards this ship bay side, they do at least have some presence near their portal, but this should be a very early score in this game. Already 1-0 EG.
Impressive push. Havoc just baiting around with the drone. He had those 2 lead blockers in Nameless and Nagafen pick up 2 apiece, and just the best start you could possibly have. Now, the battle's going to be going back over towards this mid-map. Aqua picks up a huge 2-piece there. 1 with the nade, 1 with the kill over towards blue. But not much middle map control. Nameless once again with a double.
Yeah, and 2 pieces, we talk about them a lot, but when these teams are so good at trading, right? When you have 1 kill on the other team, 1 kill back and forth, a 2-piece resets the trade advantage, and it does more than you'd ever think for your normal Call of Duty casual player. Oh, what's a 2-piece? You know what I'm saying? But in this, a 2-piece swings entire map advantage over to 1 team.
Why do they run the drone middle there? Nameless is absolutely slaying out on ship side of the map. That's just lazy plays right there from them. They should have picked up another 1-point play. I think it was Havoc that made that play. 0-3 start for him, trying to force the situation up towards the middle. He saw the kills on the kill feed. Should have took the time to go to ship.
Angry TP. Don't like TP. Is a TP that I love to listen to. Havoc with 2 kills finally does get on the board, and you can hear the oh my god chants come in. That's a 4 times multi-kill from Havoc. He must have heard your criticisms there, as now he's actually started to shoot back. Still 2 minutes into this game, it is EG who have not only gotten the first point, but a majority of the map positioning and drone control so far in this game. Aqua took a tumble there, which will open up this lane for EG to try to make a move happen.
Looney buying time with the drone on that lower wall run. Nagafen making a heads-up play here, calling the push over towards the left, just trying to bait out the players from Rise as much as possible. 1 player was actually under him. He actually got by, sneaks over towards a ring. Trades going down back and forth. EG doing a great job of locking down this ship side, but looks like kills are going in their favor. Nameless answering back once again. 11 for him so early in this one.
Havoc from 0-3 to now 7-4. Nice shots from him to cut down Facento as well, and he's bloodthirsty right now, TP. Look at him surging right up the map. He's got no teammates with him.
He made a bad play earlier, but this is really good. My bad, dude.
Yeah, all right, we're even now. You can go back to being average. But no. In this game, you've got Nameless double positive still. Just looking so much better. We can't talk about it enough. from a 0.7 with the NB4 to a 1.06 KD with the K-bar today. The guy's been night and day, literally. Havoc still with the 2-piece there to try to hold off this ship push. The drone now back to middle map. Vicento just dancing around, and it's Nameless ready for him.
Fellow, huge struggle. 3 in 13 on this first half right here. Just needs to get something going in these respawns. Another 2 from Nameless. For whatever reason, these Rise players cannot seem to get those last couple of bullets on him. Wrapping this drone over towards ship again, and when he's able to do this, 15 early in this one, he's on pace for so many kills in this run.
Hey, and that makes me happy. I want to see those kills get racked right on up. Havoc does get cut down by Looney. The 2-piece in from him now on a 3 streak, and you mentioned Felony needs to turn up in these respawns. He had an abysmal Hardpoint as well. Him and Study were both the 2 doing the worst, and that theme really remains here now in the uplink as well.
Seems like they need to slow it down.
Oh, Nagafen!
Thanks for the drone, buddy. You're dead.
And the other 2 teammates prior to him as well. Makes it look easy. The 3-piece inside ice single-handedly stops the push from Rise. It's all blue in the kill feed as they now look to get more points on the board with just 1 minute remaining inside 1.
Looks like the storming push coming in. Havoc and Nameless leading the way. The lead blockers, 2 players in this back helipad from Rise, but the play call was made to go over towards middle again. Does he get the 1-pointer? Okay. I was having flashbacks of a few moments before where they took the drone up middle and it didn't go well. But I feel like Nameless could have just probably stayed alive a little bit longer there to execute more points. But 2-0 lead for EG, a solid half so far.
When that 1-point play went in TP, EG were outslaying their opponents by 16 kills, only to be up 2-0. What does that mean for someone watching at home? Is that something bad for EG? Does it mean that a lot of their kills are coming towards their half of the map? I mean, Rise Nation could tie the game right now with having all 4 players negative, or 3 of their players negative.
Towards blue, but it doesn't go in their favor, and that is a pretty heavy kill differential.
Yeah.
It's surprising that EG doesn't have more points on the board, but they are just getting these first waves of kills. So sometimes it just happens where you're not able to pick up that second wave, but looks like the drone moving pretty quickly up towards this cryo side of the map. Do they get the 1 off? They have time. It gets off. And okay, just a little short. I got excited there for just a second.
Yep.
But just not quite enough time to set that up properly.
Okay, EG holds close. How funny would it be if EG, who didn't score a point yesterday in Uplink against Rise Nation, now stop Rise Nation from scoring a point against them?
Nothing would make sense.
It really wouldn't at that point.
All. Predictions are just impossible.
Exactly, unless you're Aches, apparently.
Yeah.
Who got that perfect prediction last time. He nods his head in agreement now. As we will follow the side of EG through the half. Nameless, the monster performance from him, on pace for 38 kills in this game if he could stay as hot inside 2. Unfortunately, does lose the first battle there against Felony.
So we saw in the first half, EG got the better of that first push. The first push actually leading to a point. And look at that. They copy it exactly. Ooh, that throw was a little bit low for just a second. Rise on the board. The first push, basically replicating what EG was able to do in the first half.
Great start from Felony of that half as well. I know he's sitting at 8 and 20, but the kills he got in middle, 3-piece there to push right on through, and the 1 and out right off spawn. Another couple chained together for him. As Rise Nation still doing what they can to take drone control. Don't be surprised to see them grab it and move it towards ship, and yet there they go right away.
That's something EG didn't really do a great job of early, putting pressure with the drone over towards ship. That's why I think they only got a couple of points. Kills getting traded back and forth, and Stud with a big 2 there. Should stop drone possession. And finally, EG has drone control. These guys are pushing up very fast. Havoc and Nameless leading the charge again. We saw it in the first half work out for them.
Oh,
and this should be a dunk, maybe. Some kills coming in. The drone not moving quite yet, and it's thrown off. I'm not sure why a 1 point wasn't executed from EG there. Another huge mistake, and you just have to take the free points, Jack. Why?
I'm so confused. They had Nameless pushing up the wall run from that middle lane. All they had to do was have the drone go right, pass it to him. He would have easily gotten a 1 and had a lot of potential to go for the dunk. A situation where, as time goes on in this game, keep that in mind. EG definitely should have more than just a 1-point lead, whether it's the slaying they had inside 1 or the push they had right there. Rise fighting for every bit they can get on this map. I mean, it's great to see from this team.
Yeah, it's just 2 points given away basically from EG. Vicento with this ERAD putting a lot of pressure over towards map. He has his overdrive ability ready. Nice shots over towards the middle, sort of forklift area. But again, just middle map control, battles going down. No team seems to be in complete control.
And this always seems to happen on Frost, man, especially when it's low scoring. This will now be a payload battle in the final couple of minutes. We talked about how in the series earlier on, you know, Looney wasn't able to earn the camo in that precinct uplink, and it really hurt Rise Nation in the long run. Now with Vicento having overdrive, this is a potential spot where he could use this to try to force a one. Instead, just keeping the drone in hand. There's the one! Intercepted by EG to keep them in the lead.
Huge defensive play from Stud there. Vicento making such a heads-up play to wrap that drone on the weak side of the map. He got the callouts from his teammates, but Stud's there to shut it down. But decides to throw it down for the reset. Maybe should have waited for just a second. You see those Rise players already up towards middle, so could have bought some time for his team, but a good win nonetheless.
Yeah, quick little gunfight victory against Aqua. As now Rise again, keeping their pattern. Move the drone in towards ship. Drop it, try to get some kills. And EG, they're doing everything they can to just grab it and reset it right away, especially with Study here in blue. But now, he knows this drone, since it's reset, Rise Nation have to track back, and he's ready for the push.
Study doing a great job staying alive for as long as he did, but you look at that middle map, completely open for Rise for the taking. They need to take this drone and get those lead blockers up towards ship. Now they just need to keep control.
Again, it's reset.
Weather the storm, but it falls off the map.
I think Looney's like, where'd it go? What's going on here? Thought someone was low wall running. Drone picked up again by Rise. They move it in towards ship. Now they've grabbed it. They moved it up to the same position for the 4th time now in the last minute. They just keep playing hopscotch with it. 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Vicento's got his payload. You've got 2 ready for EG. And already the first kills come in.
They really just need to wait and take those gunfights over towards ship. They're not able to do it. EG fights back, gets the 4 dead, and look at that bottom right, the payload. The camo is ready for Nagafen. He should get a play here.
This could be the dagger, right? If they go for a dunk, Havoc already with the entry 2-piece, Nameless with one of his own. Once he hits this corner, pop it. There you go. This will be a dunk for EG unless some insane chain of events happens. It does not. Nameless with 2 more. EG up 4-1 on the verge of taking a 2-1 map count lead in this best of 5.
I told you, Jack. Havoc was my guy. 31 and 21, absolutely dominating. And every single time it seems like EG has an offensive push, it's Nameless and Havoc leading the way. Rise just hasn't been able to do anything. EG should be up by even more in this game with those couple of mistakes, but ends up not really mattering in the grand scheme. Rise, they should have made those plays a bit earlier on. We saw Vicento have some success wrapping that drone towards the left side of the map. Maybe they should have tried to do that because EG was holding so strong at ship.
Well, that will do it. EG will take a 2-1 map count lead in our best of 5, making it look easy, really, on this uplink on Frost. And we've got some EG fans here in the crowd in the MLG arena.
It's impressive gameplay, to be honest. From what we saw yesterday to now, completely different team. Yes, some shaky plays from them in that uplink, to be honest, but when you have 2 players locking down the map so consistently like Ant, like Havoc is right now, what can Rise do? The answer is nothing.
Yeah, and you can see them trying to discuss exactly what was going wrong for them there. They cannot tilt. They cannot tilt. I was talking to the players up in the Pro Lounge. They were talking about how yesterday, after, in their series earlier, after their uplink loss to Fnatic, how you had Aqua and Nameless, Vicento really going at it. And they were having to calm them down, keep them focused for game 4 that they still had to play. They need to make sure they keep them in the right mindset now as they go back into another hard point. This time, though, they are down 1-2. EG, they've already won a hard point in this series, but remember, it was at the one hard point EG have actually looked good at this weekend, and that is Scorch. Will not be the same here in game 4.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if they can replicate that fast, energetic style of play on this map number 4. And speaking to that point of sort of the team banter, I guess, if you want to call it that, I mean, it's a good thing, but if 2 players are having such different opinions on things, maybe that was an issue there. Vicento obviously had some success taking the drone on the weak side of the map. Maybe the other players don't feel comfortable doing that. Whatever it was, the middle map control just wasn't quite there for them.
I don't think you can make any argument about who needs to step up more than Felony in this game 4.
Yes.
A very rough first 2 respawns. Now going into another one here. We saw what he was doing against Fnatic. Fnatic couldn't believe the performance he put on when he was like 37 and 21. I don't think he has 37 kills combined in the 2 respawns he's played so far in this one. Can he battle back? For me, he is absolutely the X factor going into game 4. TP, do we see a game 5, or is this series done now?
I think we are going to see a game 5. That was my original prediction.
That is true.
I thought EG was going to come out very hot. They take the first hard point. They played that link really well. But for whatever reason, I think Rise is just going to be a bit better at the rest of the hard point maps. EG has looked good on Scorch, But again, you have to take note of what happened yesterday. They do look like a completely different team today, especially with how Nameless is slaying. But I want to see a Game 5 too, Jack.
And I think you do for your predictions as well. Remember, at the start of the series, we did the little battle between Aches and Teep. Who would have the better prediction? Aches just looked at me and said 3-1 EG. As he said at the start of this, there's still potential for it to happen. TP, though, still going with his gut for Game 5. I want to see this one go the distance as well, just so we don't have to hear it from Aches for the rest of the evening. There's your maps up to this point. First Hardpoint, so even, 250 to 237. The Crusher Search and Destroy could have gone in EG's favor if they just played a couple rounds differently, mainly that B push that worked out for Rise Nation. And Uplink, the slaying power from EG was there. And now Retaliation Hardpoint next. What do you think about this map draw?
It's a hell of a good one, to be honest. I think both teams are pretty solid at this one. And the question I have is, are we going to see the sort of EG on Retaliation we saw at Dallas to qualify for Pro League? Or are we going to see the one that kind of struggled yesterday? I'm leaning towards the Dallas one. They look really strong on it overall. Nameless is going to be locking down that top plat, the long sort of alleyways here, especially over towards Bridge on first Hardpoint. So it should be a good one.
Now, this will be the first time I'm sure Nameless is playing this map with the swap from the NV4 to the K-Bar. Sure. How does it, I mean, I feel like of all maps, switching from a weapon like the NV4 to the K-Bar makes the biggest difference on this. Is that wrong to say? Or does he bring it out here for certain scenarios?
It definitely is the biggest difference. And, you know, this is something that probably Aqua can make note of. I know Aqua's sort of back and forth with the NV4 and K-Bar as well, but it's going to be who's going to be that second player if they do decide to pull out two NV4s for certain situations. The hybrid sort of players on each team are very important. And it goes to Fellow. An absolutely terrible series thus far. I hate putting people on blast like that, but if you have to pick out one player that's been the non-difference maker, well, I guess a difference maker in a bad way, it has to be him, unfortunately.
Listen, you don't have to put him on blast. I will. Felony, you need to step it up, my friend. So far, you have looked completely different from your first series. Don't be mad at TP, be mad at me, okay?
What a guy.
We got through that. Now we're ready for Game 4. I can see the players dancing around. We got gestures all over the screen. Clayster's biggest thing he was doing in his warm-up today was figuring out his new gesture he's going to stick with.
Oh, that's good.
For the rest of his time in Infinite Warfare. And maybe that's why he's got 3 out.
Oh, are you just
too much time gesturing and not enough time warming up?
Are you just roasting everyone right now?
No, seriously, Clayster, I love you. Please
settle down,
my friend. Okay, let's get into it. Nagafen already with a different type of setup off the break of this one. Those are smoke grenades he's got on. He's going to drop them close, look right on through towards top bridge, and you already know Rise Nation, they're shaking their heads at this, and he still gets good!
Well, I guess the thermal didn't matter too much. Vicento doesn't even need to see you to kill you, apparently. So a nice 2 to open up from him. Initial control over towards Rise, and look how far those spawns are out. Rise should be getting the next, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds basically uncontested. It's going to be tough for EG to bounce back.
What I love is the 2 times we've seen that play come out. One was Clayster, and now one was actually Nagafen. Both times it just didn't wind up working. Clay actually said it cost his team about 40 seconds when he tried it on Commissary yesterday. Beautiful retake, though, coming in mainly from Havoc's 3-piece he gets there in top bridge.
Surprised Rise wasn't able to hold that just a little bit better. Havoc opening in, first 3 kills for him on a 3 streak, and something I saw from Havoc yesterday specifically was on this map. His movement is so darn good around this hotel hallway, both sides of the bar, and just over towards this, I guess, broken side of the map. And that's how I think he started off, what, in that map, 17-3, something crazy like that. So starting off well again here.
Could you also put that towards how much he just plays Search and Destroy? I mean, you go towards this area a lot. You know what works, what doesn't work for you, the exact distances of your slide, what corners people don't check. He's got all that sort of information there. I believe that was a Nameless just yell for Felony, who had a tough gunfight there. His struggles continue. Felony now 1 and 3 off the start of this match.
Shot just not looking very electric.
Split spawn too from Rise. Look at that.
Yeah, it looks like a pinch should be coming in soon. Some gunfights happening over towards that broken side of the map, and I guess it should be a break coming in. Havoc in a good spot in bedroom, and now he just needs to stay alive. They have numbers now in this situation. They should get this last couple 20 seconds and focus on rotation. Look how far out Rise is spawning out. They can focus on the rotation and get all this time. Everything's leaning towards EG in this one.
EG on a combined 8 streak now between their entire squad. They don't actually have a lot of pressure towards this top bridge. They are rotating 1 player here at Study. Should see all the different members of Rise about to push on forward. These first kills on rotation could be the difference between a tie or a huge 100-second lead for EG. There's all 4. EG are about to take a massive lead in this game.
Patrick Price looking like he's going to be right here.
I hate to hear it.
That pains me so much, Jack.
Oh, and the smirk he just put on his face, he's going to talk about it. The for the rest of the day. EG up by 1 minute. Nagafen trying to push forward. He's getting shot. He's going to have to wait for his HP to come back. And not only that, for his teammates to get here as well. Does challenge a second. Nameless cuts him down, 96-24. What was a 30-second lead going into this hill, now 70. At least a silver lining here for Rise is that they will trade the rest of this time.
Aqua played that really well, staying alive at the tank for so darn long, buying his team time to break in, and they really needed some of that time to get the score a bit back in their favor. Now he's in a pretty clutch situation as well. Going to be getting flanked in just a second, but every time it seems to be an intro for Rise, it is Aqua. Now Fellow stuck in a pretty rough situation. Another 50-50 gunfight. It's not going his way.
2 money hills in a row, right? We always talk about it with Cathedral and Broken. Both times EG get the kills on rotation. They've got some lanes pushed out. Nameless does get cut down. Do we still see a close spawn for EG? No. So because the gunfight went on lower street, Rise now are pushing from all 4 lanes. They need to go now. They have a timing opportunity. Study's the only one here. They fully know that. They've got to cut him down. There it is from Felony. Beautiful break from Rise yet again.
Yeah, that's huge. Nice 2-piece from Fellow to break in, and should get the last 30 seconds or so, but Nameless,
Dude.
Oh my goodness. The shot's over towards that back truck. Can't pick up the third, but nonetheless opens the door for his team. And a nade coming in from Stud. That's going to be time going out of their hands.
Study now dead again to Felony, or does get the kill on Felony, sorry, as Felony currently sitting at 8-8, while Looney this time around has taken his poor performance from game 1 that Felony had and brought it into this game 4. Looney 2-11, need to see him get more involved in the slaying. Rise keeping this game within 40.
It's a good job from Rise, just keeping this game close. They know that first rotation did not go in their favor whatsoever, and now they're getting a lot of intro here at Hallway. EG is trying to set up this push, and it's just an unfortunate setup, I guess, from Rise. You can't just be getting picked off that easily. Time going back and forth, and looks like another 3 dead back and forth. So 4 there, more time over towards Rise. This game could be tied.
This now, though, is where things can get interesting. Aqua, you saw right there, he was 100 points off the Trinity. A teammate was about to push it and take the hill. He called out, no, let me get it. I will earn my streak. So he does at least get 1. Unfortunately, can't find the bombardment, but either way, does have some tools to work with, and that could be a major momentum shifter as this game goes on. 27 seconds between these 2 squads. Absolutely still winnable for Rise Nation, but again, look at Looney, 3-13, -10 at the moment, -11.
Not going well for Danny in this one. Some intro kills being won over towards Bridge as well. Fellow picking up a lot of huge gunfights with the MB4. Got to give him props. Could he get the third? Oh, we're pretty close on that. So need to keep an eye on these streaks. If they're going to come into play on Bridge, I really expect them to, or maybe over towards Cathedral. That's going to be the game.
Havoc snapping right now. He's 15-9 as well. Trying to match the performance of Nameless. Either way, all the roles filling in quite nicely for EG. Unfortunately, the pinch about to come in, so they will get wiped out. Rise Nation recover.
Good stuff, and didn't have to burn the Trinity either, so they're definitely saving it.
They have 2 Trinities.
Yeah.
Aqua with 1 of his own as well.
That's going to come in absolutely huge on Retaliation. Looney needs to pick it up, though. 4-15 is not the way you want to start a game. Nameless, 19 kills already in this one. Huge gunfights coming in from Fellow. Oh, just crazy gunfights going back and forth, Jack.
And you think, do we see these Trinities come into play on the next Cathedral Hardpoint? Depending on how this time goes for this lower street Hardpoint, you absolutely could.
Yeah, 2, so might as well.
Yeah, bring him out at some point. Facento on the verge of potentially doubling up here if he can keep the streak going. Now 50 points away, does get it as well. 1 assist off the bombardment.
Crazy shots there. Look, fortunately, he had some help from his teammates. And
look, they're leaving the hill. They're letting him go to the hill. Just run to the hill. Beautiful play. Nice job by him.
Nice.
See someone, instead just ducks, gets to the hard point. TP, little things like that Facento's been doing all series.
Streaks are so darn important. I wish we saw teams do that a bit more often, especially juggling the hill, things like that that can earn you those streaks so quickly. And look how far the lead shift finally goes into Rise's favor. They have them spawning out so far across the map. They have the streaks, all the utility pointing towards Rise winning this game.
And they're also closer to payloads. Aqua already with his to use. Do we see the FTL jump come into play? A big challenge towards the top plat side, but Looney's there, gets the flank, cuts 2 of them down. Rise Nation not only get majority of the time on lower street, get streaks for now to break whenever they need it in a dire situation, but they're here set up for the Cathedral.
It's such a tiny play Facento just made too. He just booked it out of the hill. He knew he had to get to his teammate. This rotation is just so much more important than that little bit of time.
Okay.
But EG groups up, gets these initial gunfights, but has the streaks to worry about.
I think it's Trinity time to come on in Here it comes from Facento, definitely the best streak you want to use here. 2 kills. Did he headshot Nameless with one?
Yes, he did.
He headshotted Nameless with a Trinity rocket. You're going to have a headache for a while.
That's a rocket hitting your face. That doesn't feel very nice, but Rise uses those streaks perfectly. You just don't have any sort of cover. EG able to get that break, but they had to try and get this time if possible. Now, 32 seconds left in this hard point. Rise has complete control. EG only has probably 1 shot left, maybe at the kill, and they have more streaks to use going over towards Broken. It's looking bad for EG here.
Aches is squirming right now. His 3-1 prediction for EG is slipping away second by second. 3 kills again for Rise. And now is the chance for EG to begin to come back. It will have to happen at Broken. The big thing to take note of, if we get swapped to Facento for a second, I'm sure he still has the bombardment. He will get close near this bottom bridge side and then potentially call it on in.
Yeah, might want to try and use it to pick up this first intro kill of
Here it comes.
Yep, decides to call it in. Gonna make those players from EG move around, but 2 kills don't go in their favor. That's a huge mistake. He does pick up that player at bridge, though, so this gives him the opening to wrap back around. That player in the hill is going to have to be forced to back up and fight Facento here. He's in a very good spot. He could win the game right here, just needs to stay alive.
Study is weakened. Facento just waiting things out. Havoc for EG doing a great job of covering bridge. He's gotten 2 kills already. Still putting pressure on the 3rd from Havoc. It's little plays like that that now make all the difference. He's 24-17. Facento still being a nuisance. Down to a 35-second game. Rise Nation with 3 kills. Again, Facento, the difference maker in the back of the map.
MVP for this series, 100% for me, making so many huge plays in that first hard point. Yes, they lose it, but just plays like that, it's nothing crazy. Just needs to make the right fundamental play at the right time. He's able to do it. They break and get a bunch of time.
The rotation towards Hotel could be the last hill of this game unless EG completely turn it around. They get 3 kills on rotation. It's all falling apart now for EG. We could see our first game 5 of the day. Fellow with the 2-piece. They're doing what they can. Aches' call is going to be wrong, and I couldn't be happier. Oh, wait, I spoke too soon. EG back in the hard point. Felony and crew get the kills. We are going to a game 5. Rise Nation not done yet.
Fantastic map of Hardpoint from both teams, to be honest. Those streaks were really the game changer. They used them at the best time. Facento's getting headshots with Trinity rockets. And, you know, you get 3 rockets, you got 3 kills. Perfect.
I would say that streaks on Retaliation are more important than almost any other map and mode combination. I think that's something you could definitely make an argument for. Finally, we get to see a game 5. I'm hyped. I know you are, because your prediction still potentially there. It's looking good right now.
Holding strong. But Facento,
Don't jinx it.
If you want to learn how to use streaks, opportune times perfectly, Facento gets around the back, stays alive for, what was that sequence? 20, 30 seconds, allows his team, and most importantly, blocks the good spawn. So great plays from Rise, and that's why we are going to this map 5.
And even the difference to use the Trinity rocket at Cathedral and save the bombardment for something like a Broken makes all the difference, folks. Do not go anywhere. Tweet out the stream, mlg.tv/Call of Duty. The CWL Global Pro League Blue Group matchup between EG and Rise Nation is going to game 5.
Rich here with another top 5. Today we take a look at Rise Nation's top 5 plays in Infinite Warfare. Coming in at number 5, we have Facento's hectic camo versus camo moment from the CWL Dallas Open.
Chance Magcat answers back on the flank. Facento still trying to find the kill into Bike. He pops the camo. Camo on camo. Where did he go? Where did he go? He's to your level. He's right there. He gets him. Facento finds the kill.
At number 4, Aqua takes matters into his own hands during the CWL Vegas Open Grand Final and clutches up for Rise Nation.
In the grand finals, first challenge comes in. Aqua still playing the corner, gets out with his life as well. This should not be happening.
Did he not call him out in that corner? He walks
right, Aqua wins the 1v2.
Halfway through the top 5, we have Aqua's heads-up FTL jump to secure the Uplink map win against Infused.
Well, 2-possession game going down. Felony. For me now, Rise, they just need a 1-point play. They need to make it a 2-possession game. Facento just used his ability. I'm not sure what it was there, but we shut down instantly in Aqua with the double kill. Oh, FTL jumps straight into number 1.
That's what I'm talking about.
Coming in at number 2, we have another awesome FTL play. This time it's going to be Looney to clutch up and search and destroy.
See how this one does go. Proto does have him one shot. Is he going to be able to clean up this kill? Looney just doing everything.
FTL jump.
The FTL jump is going to come in. The shockwave is going to come out. And Looney is going to come out on top on that one.
Our number 1 Rise Nation play so far this season is Felony, picking up the ace in Game 5 against Europe's best back at the CWL Dallas Open.
He's done a tremendous job locking down the hotel hallway. He's just so fast.
The third.
Picks up another.
Give him the ace. That might have been all 4.
He just keeps going.
The stage is set. Rise Nation, who destroyed EG yesterday 3-0, are now going to Game 5 against that same squad due to the double round robin format of the CWL Global Pro League. I love the adjustments that have been made, TP. It is why it was set up this way, to have moments like this come to fruition.
Oh, it's awesome just to see these teams play back-to-back in a short period of time. You can see the sort of mistakes being changed up, the map sets being changed up, to see which teams are better at certain types. It's really cool to see.
Well, we're now ready for game number 5, which will be S&D on Throwback, and you immediately said how you think that this favors EG going into this one. Why is that?
I just think they're so darn consistent on the map. I think it just largely goes back, I know we talk about Dallas a lot, but you see so many games in a short period of time, especially when they have a loser bracket run like that. And every time they're playing the map, it was largely due to how much of a presence Nameless just has. He was using an NV4 at the time, so we're gonna see if he's gonna switch it up or not. But the thing for me, I'm scared about it, is it sort of worked out at times on Crusher, but how long is Nagafen gonna keep the sniper out?
And Rise Nation know where to expect Nagafen to go with the sniper. That's the thing. Especially on this map, when someone hits that underpass snipe, you can easily pre-aim that with a couple NV4s and kill the guy if you're accurate with your bullets, which these are pro players. They should be for the most part. What EG do we see? Do we see the one that looked like they had no idea what was going on yesterday? Do we see the squad that has gotten this far to force the Game 5? Either way, folks, get involved in the conversation on Twitter. Use the hashtag CWL Pro League. Tweet out the stream. Get everybody in here. It's prime time for a reason. It's Throwback S&D. TP, at the start of this, you said EG win the series 3-2. I'm going to go with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to say EG win this series. They win the map. The round count's going to be 6-3, and the game's going to be won off the back of a clutch 1v2 by Nagafen.
You love Nagafen. You're biased. I'm just kidding.
I'm not biased. I honestly, if anything, I would be biased against Nagafen right now because I haven't heard from the kid in weeks.
Oh, wow. You sound sad.
I am. Just like his gun skill.
I think I'm sticking with Facento. I think if Rise has a chance in this one,
Okay.
He's had a hell of a series. I already said it, he's my MVP for just those plays he's consistently making in Hardpoint. But now, we're on board. This round number 1, Nagafen trying to open up with a quick snipe over towards this lime side.
Where's he going? He's flying right up this side of the map. And he has cleared out this lane for a moment, watching over his teammate. Objective will go down. It's going to have to be a 4v4 retake by Rise Nation.
Some good timing there for Fellow. Going up towards this train tracks, but should get graded out soon. Study taking his time, picks out the first. Can he get the second? Yes, some nice shots. Evens this out to a 2 versus 2 jab.
He's going to get pushed and cleaned up. Nagafen, I'm sure there's possibly something wrong for him right now. We'll have to find out, or he's just knowing something that I don't about looking at the ground. which is a unique strategy to have. One player chasing, does check this objective, nothing there as of yet. Still cleans up one, gets out with his life, and he makes it in the top window. Oh, and oh no, he's doing the gesture. That's not right. Nagafen knows the timing. He's clutched the round, mid-gesture. Oh, the snipe would have been nice, but either way, EG will strike first off the back of a huge clutch from Nagafen.
Some huge plays overall, and I don't know how he won that gunfight. Nagafen has been the guy that's probably the best player with a pistol for years now. So it's not surprising, but man, it's a huge 1v1 to win.
The trigger finger pistol clutch from Nagafen. Little things like that make all the difference, but while Nagafen did do great, credit where credit's due, Study's two-piece in middle map made that all possible.
Yeah, he took his time, spotted out 2 players, set up the play for himself, and hit some pretty nice shots as well. Facento gonna try and answer back with a snipe of his own, but Nagafen seems to have the better of it in this one. First blood for Rise, though.
Nice job, though, by Nameless to at least stop the bomb planter from getting the objective down. So EG can now kind of change positions off of this. Did Aqua spot the push through middle? I do believe so. And he's going to try to trail this player. Does put some shots in. And uh-oh, this could get awkward here quite quick. Thankfully, he does clean it on up.
Nameless answers back with a second, though. So 2 versus 2 situation. 50 seconds left here in round number 2. They have to try and get to this bomb as well. So Nameless did pick up that kill. I'm not sure if they know where the bomb is or was in this situation. Wonder if they're going to try and go for a plant or what, but it looks like EG's in a pretty good spot.
Nameless still playing far from his teammate, but I think it's the right decision. At a time like this, try to catch him before they get in their power positions. Oh, we gave away his spot. The trigger discipline not there for a second, but Aqua slow peeks it. And now we just got to wait for the help of his teammate. Facento gets cut down. EG up 2-0, clutching up when they need to, TP.
Oh, Nameless with 3 big kills in that round, and got a little bit fortunate there. The player slow peeked around the corner, able to get that pre-fire off, and I thought things were gonna go pretty bad when he shot those initial bullets over towards the train, but I guess it worked out for him.
Aqua tries to peek through the window, and Nameless just uses the timing to his advantage. Really wipes him off the map quite quickly. And already EG up to a 2-0 round count lead, and I'm sure because of where they are, Nagafen, yeah, he could still use this sniper rifle, the tool to get the first bloods for his team.
Just can lock down and gain so much information on the left side and middle of the map. Looney getting aggressive towards middle with an ERAD at 2 for him. So nice push, and that's exactly what you need to do against a good sniper like Nagafen. Just take advantage of that.
Woo!
Use the middle map. Looney going for the ace. Now, already 6 kills on this map. Nagafen picks up one with a pistol, though.
And here comes Looney for that ace. Does get it. Nice job, Looney. Tells his team, boys, calm down. I've got this. Commands middle map control and really plays it quite perfectly. There's the final cleanup kill. Does get some help from Felony, but in the end, it is the ace from Looney to bring Rise back within 1.
It's beautiful. You know, EG's going to be playing that slow sort of pick style with a sniper, so just take an ERAD, get up towards those middle train tracks, and wreak some havoc. He was able to do it. 7-2 for him. And look at what type of player he is. He's the camo guy. Look how close he is already. 50 away from his Scarab as well.
Looney does toss out the tactical. So close to camo already, and it's just round 4. 7 of his team's 9 kills. Nagafen has actually swapped over to the normal scope from the thermal. And first blood will be this time onto Looney, but a good trade from Felony to even things back out.
Just waiting for that trade, and then Aqua obviously making that call out to his team. They don't see anything over to this side of the map. And Aqua getting in a pretty dangerous situation if they decide to go over for this plant.
Aqua just going to hold the back Granny's angle. Still Rise. They haven't focused on the objective, but it's because they have no one watching the middle lane near train. So they've got to kind of reposition, figure out where they can find an opening. And right now, they haven't seemed to find it.
Weird round developing in this one, and the offensive team in Rise needs to try and make a play pretty quickly here. Only 30 seconds left. I'm not sure if they know what they want to do. Communication seems a bit weird. Nameless is sort of trying to sniff out this push to see where these people are located. May have saw Fellow get towards this middle underpass, but the bomb going over towards B.
Good cleanup from Facento on the Study, who was the player for EG near that bomb. Aqua shuts down Nagafen. The NV4 does tag up Aqua, but it's not going to be enough to clean up the kill, and now it's Nameless all by himself in the 1 versus 2. Does have the Scarab. Another thing to point out, though, he's the camo player. Even a kill here will help him immensely towards earning that payload.
Working over towards the bomb site now, taking more bullets. Expects a flank to come in, but realizes he just has to make a play at this point. Shots going down, decides to drop towards the bomb site. Has 2 players to worry about with just not enough time, and a fairly easy round for Rise. And It's a weird strategy overall.
Yeah.
They get the trade towards middle, and they have map control over towards A. They decide to push through, sort of give that up, and create sort of a random round situation, but they clutch.
2-2. It's only right with how the series has gone so far. The only reason why it's even in this point was because of 2 clutch scenario wins for EG in the first couple rounds. Outside of that, though, it very well could be a 4-0 round count lead for Rise Nation. Nagafen, sniper now gone, should tell you how EG is going to play this round.
Both camo players doing really well. You can see those payload meters getting up very quickly. Study, I'm surprised able to win that one. Some solid trades from Rise. Every single time they do a team push, they are going to get that trade if they do get taken out. But EG not wasting any time to get this bomb down towards B. A good old-fashioned 3v3 retake situation.
And there's so much on the line here for this series. So put both teams at 2-2. Aqua now spotted by Havoc. Looney doing what he can to try to chase this kill down. He knows he's somewhere here in top food, and there it is. Camo now earned. Nameless all by himself.
Nice gunfight on the bomb pipe.
Camo. Oh,
no.
no.
Pop it. I'm not sure if it's going to pay off for him.
There it goes. And maybe that's a testament to how close Rise Nation normally plays a team for a quick trade. It doesn't even have to check this bomb, though. It doesn't appear so. Looney's not even up. So, I mean, we know more than he does. Nameless does clutch it. But obviously, we're not that hyped because he did pop the camo in that scenario.
Right. So, you know, I don't necessarily blame the play. This is an absolutely huge round. So he really expects, especially with the way Rise has played this Search to Destroy early on, they are going for those trades extremely fast. So you can't really knock him for it. He does get the round. Not the worst play, right?
No, I don't think so. Either way, moving on, he could still earn it again if he keeps a good performance up. We're only in the 6th round of this game. So EG do have a 1-round lead yet again. And look at the FTL jump play towards the bomb. They're trying to catch a great timing for a quick plant. I don't think it paid off. They just kind of overwhelmed Study, who was there by himself.
Yeah, kind of a weird FTL play. Havoc answering back in 3v3 once again. Sort of a mirror round of last time. Payload ability. Looks like Looney decided to, I don't know if he got that camo off or not.
Beautiful job by Felony. That was the only presence that EG had towards their side of the map now near Lemon. So from a 3v3 down to a 2v3, and look at the time ticking on the bomb down to just 24 seconds. Nameless now dead, 3-3. Rise Nation staying in this.
Nameless continuing to be put in those clutch scenarios. I'm not sure if his other teammates towards middle are challenging a bit too much. I feel like the later these rounds go on, Nameless is going to be the one to benefit, right? Maybe his teammates need to slow down just a little bit, help support Nameless a bit more, because when he is in those situations, it's a really good spot for him.
Oh, he's been dominating when it comes down to it, but 3-3. How do you play this? I mean, you've tried all sorts of things. We haven't really been seeing any target towards B. Can't really blame the teams as well, as they're just more comfortable towards the side of the map. Remember, Looney, though, with the advantage with camo, but now he's dead already. Nagafen with first blood. And FTL jump about to be earned.
Both teams not playing towards this B site very well. Fellow gets a kill on Nameless towards train tracks, answered back again. So 2 versus 3 situation. Rise is trying to retake, gets the first one, and they have a shot here.
Really surprised that they have no other presence toward middle map, but I do get it. You got bowling, you got someone on bomb. It's really all you need to see. Nagafen worried about where potentially these players can come from, because Rise haven't shown their face in the last 12 seconds. And I do love this. Study playing close in bowling. How rare is this to see a player hiding in this area of the map? They have no clue. Rise have given up that area. Nagafen just dancing around, buying time. Study's got watch of the bomb. Doesn't need to peek it, doesn't need to peek it. Now check on out. Beautiful clutch from Study. EG back up 4-3.
Rise just taking way too much time to execute that flank. They're dancing around at middle, not gaining any sort of information towards mid. You just gotta go, Jack. Like, if you're gonna give up and play a retake, you just have to fly at him, honestly.
And think, if they went with their actual speed, they would have killed Study before he got into bowling. But it became such a long time. You saw someone on EG called it out. Study hides in bowling.
Yeah.
Nagafen starts dancing on the other side of the bomb. Makes it way more awkward, as they've got to invest so much to go kill him. They can't even think about Study. A big round for the side of EG.
Very quick push over towards middle for Rise now. Switching up the strategy just a bit. Fellow with a huge first blood on a Havoc, and that really seemed to be the battle in this one. Trades happening. Rise just doing a better job of trading over towards middle map. 2 versus 2 situation. Now 1 versus 2. Percent to the last one. EG wipes him out.
And who is it that swings the trade in EG's favor? Nameless again. It's been that way the entire day. Nagafen cleans him on up. EG now 1 round away from going 2-0 on day 2.
I
I didn't think I was ever going to say that.
I feel like I'm sort of calling this, Jack.
Woo!
Calling this. I don't know. Nameless just an absolute monster, though. How many two pieces has he had? Can we get a stat guy just to count them all up in the kill feed? It's impressive stuff. 8 and 5. And Looney, he's kind of forced to use this camo now.
That's at the point you're at. And we talked about how Nameless, if this does go to round 11, Nameless can absolutely earn a second camo in this S&D. Both teams playing a little bit more passively. But at the same time, Nameless does get a play. I didn't even notice he was on the bomb. Wow. So Rise Nation, give that up. You've got to pop it if you're Looney. Yep. Here we go.
Spotted one player hopping up towards that bus. Gonna try and clear at the bomb site if possible, but looks like Nameless and Havoc, they both get away. The camo doesn't get anything. Nagafin picks him up in the back, and now such a tough situation. 2 versus 3. It looks like EG is gonna take this.
Vicento, he's caught in a terrible spot. He's got Felony trying to help from middle. Thankfully, they have spotted both players. He knows where they are. Cleans him up there. Does have the Centurion as well. Don't think that's what you want to have in this scenario. Here we go. Does he check it in time? Study now rotating on over. This should be a quick cleanup. EG! They get it done 6-3. Win the series 3-2. And I guess you could just say prove TP smarter than Aches.
Nailed it.
Aches is still shaking his head. Nice prediction from TP. Either way, we have storylines for days now, folks. EG and Rise Nation, both 2-2. You've obviously got FaZe versus Fnatic up next. If Fnatic can upset FaZe, we will have a 4-way 2-2 breakdown going into day 3.